17 habits that took my car to 1 million kilometers, and it's still alive. Do you think a car can't reach 1 million kilometers? Most people do. Yet here I am, behind the wheel of my 2003 Toyota Corolla that just rolled past that milestone. Mechanics shake their heads in disbelief. Neighbors call it a miracle, and younger drivers can't understand why I haven't traded it in for something newer. But the truth is simple. It's not about buying the most expensive car. It's about adopting small, consistent habits that no one teaches you in driving school. While friends have changed cars every 5 years, I've been loyal to this one vehicle for over 2 decades. The result? I've saved more than $100,000 in new car payments, and my old Corolla still runs better than many modern cars. Today, I'm going to share the 17 habits that turn my ordinary sedan into an indestructible machine. But fair warning, habit number 1 will completely flip what you thought you knew about car maintenance. Ready? Let's start with 17. 17. Warm up your engine at idle for at least 30 seconds. Those first 30 seconds after starting are the most critical of your engine's life. Overnight, oil drains into the crankcase, leaving metal parts bare. If you rev and go immediately, you're running metal on metal. That tiny patience, half a minute of idling, lets oil circulate, parts expand, and friction drop. When my mechanic inspected my engine after 800,000 kilometers, he said it looked like one with half the mileage. That's the payoff of patience. 16. Avoid cold accelerations. For the first 5 kilometers of the day, I drive as if there are eggshells under my feet. No hard acceleration, no redlining, no racing the neighbor's car. A cold engine is like a cold athlete. It needs stretching before sprinting. This one rule alone probably added hundreds of thousands of kilometers to my engine's life. 15. Change oil before the manual says to. Most manuals suggest 10,000 kilometer intervals. My rule? Every 7,500 kilometers. Oil is your engine's lifeblood, but by 10,000 kilometers, it's already degraded and full of microscopic grit. Preventive changes cost me maybe $50 more a year, but they've kept my piston rings, valves, and bearings in near perfect condition, even after 1 million kilometers. 14. Use only high-quality oil with additives. This was a painful lesson. I used cheap oil for my first 200,000 kilometers and nearly destroyed my engine. Premium oils with molybdenum, zinc, and phosphorus additives form a protective film between metal parts. It's like invisible armor. After I switched, the difference was dramatic. Smoother startups, quieter operation, better throttle response, and 0 major repairs even after 700,000 more kilometers. 13. Change coolant. Every 2 years. Most people wait for a leak or overheating to occur. By then it's too late. Coolant degrades chemically, becomes acidic, and starts to eat away at your engine from the inside. Every 24 months, I flush and refill. My cooling system, now 20 years old, still works like new. 12th. Inspect and clean the air filter. Every 10,000 kilometers, a dirty filter is like clogged lungs. Fuel consumption shoots up, power drops, and wear increases. Every 10,000 kilometers, I pull mine out, inspect it, blow it clean with compressed air, or replace it if needed. This single habit has saved me thousands in fuel costs over 2 decades. 11. Replace spark plugs and wires before they fail. Spark plugs don't send warning letters before dying. One day they just fail, and you're stranded. I learned that lesson at 2 a.m. on a highway. Since then, I replace them on schedule, around every 50,000 kilometers. My car rewards me with smoother acceleration and better fuel economy. 10. Clean the throttle body every 40,000 kilometers. When mine first got dirty, my car started idling like a blender and stalling at stoplights. For less than $20 and 30 minutes of work, cleaning restored it instantly. Now I do it like clockwork every 40,000 kilometers. The difference in performance is night and day. 9. Never ignore transmission fluid. Most drivers forget their transmission until it fails. I learned early, fluid breaks down with heat and friction. I replace mine every 60,000 kilometers before it looks burnt. Result? My original transmission still shifts smoothly after 1 million kilometers. 8. Rotate tires. Every 10,000 kilometers, Simple but vital. Uneven tire wear puts extra stress on suspension and steering. Rotating regularly has kept my car stable at highway speeds and saved me thousands on suspension repairs. 7. Respect the suspension. Potholes, curbs, speed bumps, every hit is like a punch to your car's bones. I drive defensively, slow down on rough roads, and never overload my car. That's why my Corolla's suspension still feels solid while my friends replace theirs every few years. 6. Wash the undercarriage. Rust is the silent killer of long-lived cars. Salt, mud, and grime eat away at metal silently. Every few months, especially in winter, I wash the underside of my car. That's why my 20-year-old chassis has almost no rust. 5. Use the parking brake every time. Yes, even with automatics. Most drivers assume the transmission's park gear is enough, but that habit puts unnecessary strain on internal components over the years. By using the parking brake, you're sharing the load. The brake holds the car's weight while the transmission rests. This keeps the mechanism healthy, prevents parking pal wear, and ensures the cables don't seize from lack of use. That's why, even after 2 decades, my original parking brake still works flawlessly, as crisp as the day I bought the car. It's a simple step that adds decades of reliability. 4. Fix small problems immediately. This is where most car owners lose the battle. Tiny issues that seem harmless, like a faint oil drip, a squeaky belt, or a slow starting battery, are actually red flags. Left unchecked, they snowball into catastrophic failures. A minor leak that burns a few drops of oil can turn into a seized engine. A worn belt that costs a few dollars to replace can shred itself and take your alternator or water pump with it. I've learned to treat every small issue as urgent. By fixing problems the moment they appear, I've avoided breakdowns and kept repair bills at a fraction of what others pay. Prevention is always cheaper than repair. 3. Drive. Like every trip is a lesson. This is the real secret weapon. Longevity comes down to how you drive, not just how often you service. I practice what mechanics call mechanical sympathy, driving in a way that respects the machine, smooth braking instead of slamming, gentle but firm acceleration instead of flooring it at every green light. Always anticipate traffic to minimize sudden stops. The results speak for themselves. My brake pads regularly last over 80,000 kilometers. My original clutch survived well past 300,000 kilometers. And my fuel economy is still impressive even after 2 decades. Smart driving isn't about being slow, it's about being consistent and deliberate, squeezing maximum life out of every component. 2. Keep records like a doctor. If you want your car to outlive everyone else's, treat its history like a medical file. I log every service, every part, every fluid change with dates and mileage. This discipline does 2 things. It keeps me on track with preventive maintenance, and it gives me a crystal clear picture of my car's health over time. When a mechanic asks, "When was the last coolant flush?" I don't guess, I know. That precision keeps failures at bay. And here's a bonus. A car with detailed records is worth far more on the used market because buyers can see it's been loved and cared for. With records this complete, my car doesn't just run reliably, it feels practically immortal. 1. Don't follow the crowd. Build a relationship with your car. Here's the rule that breaks everything you've heard. Your car isn't disposable. Treat it like a long-term partner, not a throwaway gadget. Listen to its sounds, respect its needs, learn its quirks. This mindset changes everything. Instead of chasing the latest model, you start protecting the one you have. Final thoughts. People ask me if I'd ever sell my Corolla. My answer? Not yet. It's more than a car. It's proof that durability is not a myth. It's proof that discipline beats design and habits beat hype. It's not about luck, it's about habits. Which of these will you start with today?